we dancers, we start over every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day is a new opportunity to be better.
And every single day is different. I could turn 4 periods yesterday like
Easy
that.
breezy, yeah.
And then today my balance is completely off.
Yeah.
Nothing that I did. It's just the way it is.
Have you ever had dreams where you were like turning?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
so
I
many
think all the
dreams.
dancers have those things.
So many
where you're
dreams.
like jumping, doing a manege in a huge stage.
And like a developer. I'm like, oh my God,
It's
how
so
come
easy.
I never thought like that before?
Hello, dance lovers. I am Junior.
I am Ana. We are that Brazilian couple.
And this is Dance is the Answer podcast. And before we start, I just want to say that we have a special guest with us. And from now on, I'm going to try to keep our special guest in frame for every episode.
Is she in frame? She's not in that frame. She's in my frame.
She's in your frame. Oh, just a little bit. I think you moved the camera a little bit so her head is cut it. But
No, she moved. I
She
didn't
moved.
move nothing.
Okay.
That's okay. So for you to watch this episode instead of just listening to it, you should go to our YouTube, Dance is the Answer, and then you see which guest Junior is talking about.
yes. And if you haven't subscribed to That Brazilian Couple yet, do so.
And also, Dance is the Answer.
Yes, this is important. Subscribe to Dance is the Answer podcast, and also look for us in all podcast platforms. Give us the five stars and leave a review if you like to.
Yeah.
Hear our
Write
stories.
to us. We love to.
This is episode number 6? No, 7.
7, I think.
Ooh,
Yeah, 7.
Okay.
Episode number 7, and we're gonna talk about
Ana, she just caught a cold. I was, for a second, I was like, she catch a cold? She caught a cold? She caught a cold.
I caught a cold, and I passed on to Junior,
Right.
and it's not COVID because I did a test.
That's true.
So I feel better today, though.
I'm
We
glad
were
you...
supposed to record this yesterday, but I was too
Right.
congested.
I was like,
to
Ana,
do so.
they might not gonna know who is Junior, who is Ana, because she was talking like that. Not that I talk like that, but it was like very deep.
Yeah, but today we have to do it. So,
Right.
you know what
Doop.
is our guest
Oh, you know what?
birthday
Yeah, today
today?
is our guest, Julie. I mean, our love, our baby girl. It's her birthday today. She's 13.
It's her birthday.
Yay. Happy birthday,
She's
Juliquita.
doing her favorite thing, which is nap all day long.
Yeah. She's like resting, as usual.
Yeah, that's her routine.
I love her routine. Sometimes I envy her routine.
What's your routine?
Mine or Julie's?
Yours.
Mine's a little bit similar to hers.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes.
Very good
Lately,
as a professional dancer.
we just wrapped the season. Lately, my routine, it's a lot like Julie. We do some work. I mean, I do some work at home. Sometimes I do work outside, right? Not that much anymore because, anyways, not going to give any spoilers now. But we work for a little bit, and then I join Julie for a little nap or watch TV together with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then we walk her sometimes. I mean, sometimes, most of the time is you. But sometimes I walk with her, and then we come home. I clean her paws. We sit down on the sofa, and she take a nap, and I take a nap.
You cannot take a nap. You're not a napper. Your nap is like 3 hours long. That's not a nap.
Baby,
Naps,
I call it a nap. You take the nap, the power naps. I can't do that.
but then it's no longer a nap. Nap's supposed to be short, like
No,
20 minutes, 30 minutes.
hell no.
Yes.
Nap's
because
supposed to
then-
feel like you were... I know. It
no,
doesn't work for
because
me.
then it's not a nap. Then you just fall asleep.
But that doesn't work for me, you know.
Yeah, and then what happens when you sleep 3 hours during the day? You don't sleep well at night.
Very true.
And you don't feel
I'm getting better, though.
energized after your nap, quote, nap, because is not a nap. So you feel actually more tired when you wake up.
I
On
feel
a
like
power naps, the reason why it's short is because it's just the urge of sleep a little bit, close your eyes a little more deep,
I
and then when you wake, even though you want to sleep more, if you get up and wake, you feel the energy of it.
I wish one day I'm gonna be good at it. I think I feel I'm getting older. It's getting better. The other day I slept a little bit only, like 40 minutes. That's a good nap.
I don't think 40 minutes.
It's a nap still.
I don't remember you sleeping 40 minutes
I do.
in your head.
It was. Anyways,
So that's your routine.
no, my routine
now.
lately it's been chill because the season just finished. No rehearsals, no shows. So it's kind of weird, kind of, like, don't you feel like it's weird when you finish a season and you like, even though we work at home, right? Even though we work with social media every day, when you're not performing at the theater or you're not going to the rehearsals, you kind of lost a little bit. Like you like,
I feel like we lost track of days.
Yeah,
Of
I mean,
weekdays,
I
like
keep
what
asking
days
you which,
today?
what days today? Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's Friday. I'm like, oh, it's Sunday or Saturday or it's
But
weird.
we don't hold that. I mean, eventually we find out another routine, which is the off-season routine.
Right.
But today we're going to talk about the routine of a professional
Ballet dancer.
Dancer.
Or dancer.
Dancer.
In any style. Yeah, it's it's funny. I was thinking like, and I see people, I see friends and family, my brothers, for instance. We used to be in a very hard routine, when we're dancing together back in the day. Back in the day, I mean, like a couple years ago. And whenever
On a tough regiment.
like a regiment, like classes, rehearsals. It's like you don't have life outside. I mean, the life you have outside of rehearsals and shows, it's resting, staying on the couch,
Yeah.
So it's kind of difficult. I think it will be very difficult for me and you once we stop dancing like at the theater, because the routine, we're gonna miss the routine so much, because
Yeah.
it's part of our lives. Since we can remember, since I met you, the routine was like class, rehearsal.
So
every
let's
time.
talk about that. What's
Right.
the routine?
That's what I'm saying. It's
We have, I mean,
a lot of classes.
ideally, at least 5 classes a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Monday to Friday.
Right.
Hour and a half class is the average.
Yeah, usually it's like 35 minutes, 40 minutes bar, and then the rest is center.
Center work.
Yeah.
And then after that, we have a little break. And then we go into rehearsals.
Right.
Whenever there is a new piece, there's more time for that rehearsal.
Right.
And I feel like whenever there's a new piece to learn, both mentally and physically, we're so tired and sore.
Right.
Because the choreographer is finding new movements and you trying that, and you have to show it many times to see if it works or not, and then you change its mind, and then you change to something else.
Right. You
So
have to be
it's
flexible about it, right?
very flexible, and so it's very hard on the body, and it's also a new movement. So
You're not used to it.
yeah,
So you hit muscles that you usually don't work.
yeah, until you get used to it, and then it becomes.
Do you
just a
remember that
rehearsal.
feeling of going to a rehearsal, to a new piece, a new choreographer comes in, and you're like part of the group that's performing it, and at the end of the day, you get home and you're like, oh my God, like what happened? And you think you're not going to be able to move the next day, because when you wake up in the morning, you in so much pain, all muscles in your body are ached, right?
Yeah.
And you get up, you're like, oh, how am I
gonna
gonna
do everything again? Yes.
And then you start to take a shower, you do your routine, and then you eat something, and then you go into the studio, you start to move slowly in class, and you're like, oh, yeah. I
you
can do
start
it.
to warm up your body. Yes, that's why the class are good for, because it prepares your body from your blood pulsing into every
Parts of your
part
body.
of your body, starting from the food. A good class always will start warm you up from the bottom up.
Yes.
So like food, and then
Knees,
legs,
legs,
knees,
hips,
hips, all
and
the
then
way up to
arms, necks.
shoulders.
Yeah,
Yes, that's a good class. Unfortunately, there's good and bad class. Some
sure.
class start right away, and it's like a
some
shock.
is like, and you're like, you have to just make it
Yeah.
happen. Yeah.
And then you learn as a dancer. I feel like, I mean, we in the company that we used to dance.
The
it
last
wa-
one.
No, I'm talking about the very first one. It was the same
Right.
teacher
Right.
from
So
Monday
we got
to
used
Friday.
to that. Yeah.
So you got used to the class. Yeah, the body understands it better.
Right.
Just like a choreography.
And that's the
Right?
thing. When you're in a company, like we were in that first company,
Yeah.
working with the same teacher, s- most of the time she was choreographing everything.
Right.
So it's like you use to her movements, you
Yes.
use to everything. Your body adjusts very well
He
to that.
understands faster.
Whenever
yeah.
someone new would come, we would be like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't you feel that?
Totally. Yeah, like a new choreography.
I remember once the choreographer came to do a famous choreographer in Brazil came to do something with us, and it was a little bit like a mix of ballet with the hip hop thing. Or
Mm-hmm.
remember that?
It was terrible.
He, he left. We didn't dance his piece.
We never finished it.
We couldn't learn the thing. And that's a
I
cool thing
know.
about New York. I feel like in here, dancers, I mean, not all of them are classically trained, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they can do everything because they jump to class, you know?
But that's what I was about to say. We had that one teacher Monday to Friday, which is comfortable.
Right.
I would say it's comfortable because, like Willie say, our body adjusts and recognizes so fast. But we become a little stupid. Not stupid, dumb.
No. No, that's not stupid. It's not
no,
dumb,
no,
babe.
yes. Because whenever someone new comes,
Yeah.
it's like a completely new language, and we are not able to pick it
Right.
up.
No, I
fast.
get it. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Once we moved, and then even when we started with the dance company in here, the first dance company we had here, it was different teachers
Right. Every
from
week,
Monday to
every day,
Friday,
yeah.
every day.
You got
Monday,
a chance
one
to work with
teacher,
different
Tuesday,
styles.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
different styles. So you become faster to pick up things,
Mm-hmm.
pick up the combinations of the class, and then whenever a new choreographer come, you don't feel so stupid.
Stupid.
Because
Okay.
you didn't
I like
get
the
it.
word stupid because I know what the feeling is. That feeling is like, whoa, I can't do this. I never done this.
No, it's just like,
Yeah.
how hard can this be? You know, like is all movements, but because our brain's so comfortable doing the other step, the other
Yeah.
teacher's routine,
Because you used to it. Yeah.
routine.
Right.
Whenever it goes out of the routine, we're like, oh, it's a shock, you know.
But you know, that's something that I learned over the years and I understand now. It's okay to take ballet class every day to perform if you perform ballet. But the good thing is to break a routine. Like today you're very sore. Why going to class again? Just do a yoga class. So
yeah, but
that flexibility.
that we learn after when you get more mature, I guess.
Right.
Like I feel like as a dancer, it brings me back to what I was about to say about good and bad classes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just some teachers teach a different way. Maybe they learn that way or they develop that way to teach. That it will work for some dancers, it will not work as well for other dancers. So what I learned is to adapt whatever the teacher is asking to my body.
Right.
You know, like not being disrespectful. I always do the combinations that the teacher asks, everything like that. But I know how much of percentage I have to put in that exercise. You know what I mean? Like if
Right.
it's something that I feel my hip a lot, I won't do it 100%. I will
Right.
do easy. I
You
will
take
do
it
like
easy,
a
yeah.
40%, lower my leg, things like
Right.
that. So, but those things I think we only learn as we age,
Yeah, you
as
start
we
to
get
feel,
more
yeah,
mature, more
like especially like we
confident.
talked about before about injuries. The dancer learns a lesson every time you go through an injury, right?
Yeah.
I felt like I danced better over the years because of that.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
I started to, because sometimes you compensate,
You dance
sometimes
smarter.
you're smarter, yeah, so you don't get injured. And but yeah, the routine is something that every dancers have learned their own routine. Some dancers goes and they stretch, some goes and they do exercise to to
Strengthening.
strengthening. So everybody's different too. Because sometimes you see dancers that are super flexible. Sometimes you see dancers that are so stiff. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think you and I we're like between both.
The ideal combination would be flexibility and strength together.
Right.
That's the goal,
Right.
right? And whenever we work more in strength, we lose flexibility.
Yeah, it's a
Whenever we
balance, right?
work more in flexibility, we lose strength. So we have to be smart enough to work together, both things always at the same time. That's the healthier
Right.
recipe.
Yeah, and you learn over the years. It's a different thing, which is very smart. Is that you have class to condition your body every day when you know in a company. We're very fortunate to have class every day at the mat, even though I don't take them all the time. But whenever I'm not taking the class there, I'm doing my own thing. So I learn how my body works. So let's say if you have a show to perform and it's a very demanding show, you prepare yourself for it. So it's like you
Yeah,
learn over
that's
the
the
years how to prepare yourself.
that's also the difference when we were in the youth company.
Right.
We are obligated to take the class, correct?
When we started, yes.
Like if you miss class, and I don't remember if you got deducted the pay. Like
No, that was
it was
the mentality was you come to class every day. If you don't come, something's going on.
no. I feel like there was some kind of punishment because on the very beginning of a professional career, it was a youth company, right?
Right.
So it was important. I feel like to have that harsh regiment because otherwise we would not learn the discipline of
And the
it
thing is,
because we were super young.
and when you're in a company,
And
like,
when you're young, you don't feel as much pain.
oh no,
So you
we used to go
develop.
out, develop, right? I remember going out with friends and everybody in the company, party, and then go back to class next day. Everything would be fine.
And you do it even a better class. It's so funny.
You would be like feeling good, and then
Yeah. But
now-
that doesn't work exactly.
now
So
we
I
can
think it's really
we can do anything at night. It's like
so that's why I feel like it's really important for young dancers
Right.
that just start the career to have that type of regiment, even
Right.
even though I was always a smart dancer. Like I always I am disciplined, but on the beginning, if I had the free choice of taking the class or not taking the class, I probably wouldn't be so disciplined throughout my career. You as well, because you learn that, and then you learn that helps. The take class every day helps. I remember a lot what Toshi Kobayashi used to say. Say you miss one day of class, the teacher feels it. You miss 2 days of class, you feel it. You miss the third day of class,
the audience feels it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I
It's so
remember
crazy.
that a lot. And that's true.
Very
That's
true,
totally
very
true.
true.
The first time you don't feel it, your teacher might miss you in class. The second time you feel because your body doesn't
Very
move the
true.
way you want it to. And then third time you cannot hide.
Right.
Like everybody sees that you lose the technique.
Right. I feel like it's a very demanding job, right?
It is.
Dancer's routine is like it's any athlete. It's like if you don't put up the work, you'll be forgotten. because if you don't grow in a company, if you don't get better, you don't get to be seen.
Yeah,
So it's a competition
and it's
environment.
frustrating. It's
Yeah.
frustrating for you.
It's like you want to improve
not-
every single day. Like if you're working on a piece and something's not working, like a pirouette is not going good, and then next day, if you have the will, next day you're really pushing. You go earlier, you do a stretch, you practice your pirouettes again.
Yeah, you have
It
to
doesn't
do
work
things on your
next
own a
day.
lot.
So it's like we dancers, we start over every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day is a new opportunity to be better.
And every single day is different. I could turn 4 periods yesterday like
Easy
that.
breezy, yeah.
And then today my balance is completely off.
Yeah.
Nothing that I did. It's just the way it is.
Have you ever had dreams where you were like turning?
Oh my gosh. so
Oh, I
many
think all the
dreams.
dancers have those things.
So many
where you're
dreams.
like jumping, doing a manege in a huge stage.
And like a developer. I'm like, oh my God,
It's
how
so
come
easy.
I never thought like that before? And the next day you go to
But
try.
to be honest,
Oh.
there was some, because we were practicing pirouettes, the guys all the time. And I remember dreaming of doing the pirouettes and going back in class. And I have that feeling, that sensation that I had in the dream. And then that's how I started to get better at pirouettes,
Yeah.
because I was dreaming all the time.
Oh, good. My dreams never worked. Only on the dream. But then I think it's really important to have that discipline, because
Right.
then whenever you go to a professional company, a regular professional company, which was when we got here. I mean, you got here first, but then we joined the same company here.
Yeah, but the regiment at that company was like too much too.
But it's still, the class wasn't obligatory.
It was.
No.
Am I?
No, baby.
Company?
In our company. Our
Oh,
first company.
our first company together. No, it wasn't.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because your company was also a youth company.
it was. Yeah, it was like
Exactly.
I mean, there were some older dancers, amazing dancers, but most was like
Small
kids,
company, yeah.
early 20s.
It was the second company that you were and I was together. It was a medium-sized company.
Right.
So then it was
Like what, 40 dancers or something like that?
yeah, I think so. And then it wasn't. We were not obligated to take class.
No.
But we were. We have to be
And
there,
that
ready
company
for rehearsals.
actually was where I was like, wait, what? People don't come for class all the time?
Yeah.
That's when we were like, wait,
But no matter what, okay, you don't want to come to class.
No,
don't
they're
come
ready to
class,
perform.
But you have to get ready. Be ready for rehearsals
right.
on your own if you want. We offer classes, but you just have to be here at this time to your rehearsal.
Right.
And then and then you do your thing. And then I was like using the whole Monday to Friday classes.
Right. We were there every day.
You know, like that was my breakfast.
Yeah.
That was my breakfast.
Class
Like,
is the dancer's breakfast.
yeah. And then before classes, we would get there at least a half an hour prior to warm up the body, because that's also important. And then we take the class 1 hour and a half, we have a little break, and then you go to rehearsals. It was like that until like something happens. If you feel a little pain and this and that, oh, today I'm not gonna take class because I have this rehearsal. So I'm, like you said, I'm gonna take a yoga class this morning instead, or I'm gonna do my conditioning
But there were days where,
exercises.
or there are days that we do everything. Like
Yeah.
you take a class and then you do a little strengthening exercises and then you rehearse and then you finish with yoga.
And
So
it's
you can sleep
so
good.
It feels so good when you do everything.
Right.
It just feels like all the puzzles are.
Isn't it amazing how the
Yeah.
body adjusts and how the body is made for strengthening, stretching, exercising, dancing every day? It's like,
Yeah.
and we feel so good when we're doing it all the time.
Yeah.
And then you stop for a little bit, like whenever we go to vacations and we're like taking easy. To go back, it's like
It's
the worst.
10 times harder. Yeah. If you kept going that throughout the whole year, you're good.
You're
But
good.
once you stop, you have to
So
start from
the goal
zero
is
again.
the goal is to stop maybe 1, 2, 3 days. Okay, you're on vacation, a weekend or something, but always implement some exercising routines because the body loses so quickly.
Yeah.
The muscles get weaker.
And this routine is not only when we're performing. We perform even when we don't have shows. We still have to have the classes and have the rehearsals. It's not like, oh, there's no show this week, so everybody goes free. No,
Right.
we have to maintain. And then when we do have shows, we have the shows on top of that
Right. The whole day.
the whole day. And then a lot of times, especially in a ballet company, right? A lot of times our day starts at 9 a.m. Like I mean, the routine of to be ready for the performances. So
Yes.
we at 9 a.m. we start to warm up your body. At 10 you're taking classes. 11:30 you finish classes, and then you have rehearsals for your show to just
Babe,
start at 8 p.m.
Babe, the birthday girl, she's
Oh,
about
my
to.
love. For your show to start at 8 p.m. So it's like 11 hours of preparation
Right.
for a show.
Yep.
And a lot of times we are super tired by the time we are performing.
Honestly, dancers are always tired. Always with always with a little package of nuts and little treats to make it
To boost the energy.
to boost the energy, like
But
a
then-
coffee or yeah.
The thing that makes it work is adrenaline.
The performance.
Is adrenaline. It's
Yeah.
a natural thing that you feel.
It's
It's not the whatever you drink
it's like
or anything.
It's like it feels like drugs.
It's adrenaline.
Even though we don't
It's
use
the
drugs,
hormone.
we never did drugs. It's
No.
like I mean, we drink eventually, but
No, but not for dance.
but that's what I'm
the
saying.
opposite.
But that's what I'm saying. You know, whenever you have like a little glass of wine or something and you feel good, that's not even a 10% close to the adrenaline we have when we're performing.
Yeah.
It's like it's a high that sometimes we go home, we can't sleep right after,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
right?
You were so tired before you started, and then the show finishes, and you cannot sleep because you're like you pumped.
No,
Yes.
sometimes I have a show at the Met, and then, you know, opera shows are long. So I perform, and it's such a good show. And then, you know, there's the ball. You see the audience, like a huge audience at the Met. And then, you know, you feel good about yourself. And then you go home, you come home. Sometimes I get home like after midnight. You already sleep when we're not having the show together, right? And then I sit here in the sofa and I'm like up for at least like an hour and a half after that.
Yeah, you
I
have
cannot go to bed right away.
Yeah, it takes a while. It takes a while.
And
to,
when we're performing together, it's like we're talking about the whole thing, and then we go over everything that happened, and then it's like,
yeah,
and the next day you're like exhausted
the
because
next
you're like,
day you're exhausted.
wow.
And if you have a show the next day, you have to start all
Well,
over
that's
again.
the thing, because as a dancer, you cannot fake it. You cannot fake it. You have to give it all. You have to put your heart out there.
Yeah.
You have to, it's live performance. It's amazing because the audience is waiting for your work to be done.
Yeah.
And when you have that connection with the audience, you feel the audience, you fly on stage.
And
It's
and
crazy.
also you cannot do that to yourself. Like you work your whole life for that little moment, that 10 minutes or whatever.
And it's like your last
long.
chance to make it happen. Because most of the times, whenever you finish that performance, you're going back to rehearse something new. So it's like, that's my chance to make it. All the rehearsals worth it, you know?
Yeah, and yeah. It's crazy.
It's-
It's,
it's-
crazy
it's
when
crazy,
you
right?
think like that.
No, if you
like,
if you stop and thinking like how the dance mentality works, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We're always constantly looking for the next and the next and the next. It's like every day you work, unless you don't love what you do. But I barely think that dancers don't love what they do because
Yeah.
it's
I
such.
think it's a career that is impossible to do if you don't love it.
First of all, you don't get to be rich as dancers. You don't, the glamour, that doesn't happen at dance because it might for people that sit in the audience and see the whole show, but for the dancers, we live in a different reality. Like we're behind the curtain reality, which is a reality of working hard every day, not being good enough, not having, people around you that will raise you all the time. You have to find people to make that to you, which is a very uh, lucky thing for us to have each other. And most of the time, the times we were the ones
The cheerleaders.
cheerleaders of each other, because it's a competitive environment.
Super.
Sometimes some people would say, hey, good luck, but that good luck is definitely not good luck because there's a competition.
Not from the heart.
We choose, and in life we choose sometimes to see the good in everything, but it's a very competitive place.
Yeah.
Dancers sometimes are not happy
Yeah.
to see you achieving things,
Yes.
because in everything in life, not only dancers, but like it's a competitive environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Super competitive. Yes. Yeah. And I don't think it's a career that anyone can fake it.
No.
Fake the love.
Either you love or you hate. You have to love to dance.
I think the people that don't love to dance never become a professional.
Yeah. Or they do for a little and then they can't keep up.
It's so hard if you don't like it. That's impossible.
Many times we see amazing dancers. Like, because the thing is, dancers, they're very talented dancers. What I mean is the body, the arch of the feet, flexibility, beautiful humans, and everything's so easy for them. It's like, whoa, that's the body of a dancer. You know what I mean? So sometimes I feel like the ones that don't have that are the ones that make it.
Right.
Because it's super easy for some
But
dancers
do you
to
feel
step
like
in.
the ones that have that, if they don't love it, they will make it?
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's complicated because I feel like sometimes if you do something for yourself and you love it, yes, that will make things much easier. But sometimes people can end up doing things for others. Like, let's say for a parent that loves the girl to be a ballerina. And that happens a lot. I know that because throughout my career, I've seen that a lot. Like moms that project their dream into their kids. And then,
Right, students,
and then what
yes,
happened?
but
The kid,
professional?
it's always working, but not to satisfy their own
Right.
self, but for to
Yeah,
you know.
as a student, it happens a lot.
Right.
As ballet teachers, we see that a lot. But do you feel like they become
That's-
professionals?
Some do, and to a specific part of their lives, they kind of like get away from it, because then they're like realize, whoops, I have to do it for myself. But it takes too long to realize that. But anyways,
Yeah, because I feel like it's still, even if you have beautiful this and that, if you don't have your heart and soul in it,
right.
it's also visible. So
And
I
you
don't
see that
think-
sometimes,
I
don't you
think
see?
in a dance audition, for example, you're gonna stand out because there will be another beautiful dancer with the same body conditions, with their love and soul. And
Anyways, moral of the story, you have to do what you love. And dancers most love because they find themselves on the stage. They
oh yeah,
like
the
like
performance.
I feel like every time I'm on stage, we perform, and then afterwards we were like, oh, we belong here.
That's why we do it.
That's like, oh, that's the reason why.
Yeah.
You don't do for fame, you don't do for money, you don't do for others, you do for the feeling of presenting and bringing magic to the audience.
Yeah, it's definitely a very unique feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so funny. Like I mean, and it's not always a good performance. Some performance we do, it's like, oh, I don't feel like I did
let's just
good.
get done with it.
But not get done, but like even something that you want to do, you feel like it wasn't your best for whatever reason. But I know exactly when it's going to be good and when it's going to be bad while I'm
You
doing
feeling
it.
it. Yeah.
When is a good performance for me, I don't think anything.
You're 100% there.
I don't think, not even, because we have the rehearsals to correct the things, right? The steps and the shape and everything, the technique to polish everything. But the times where I'm executing a dance and I'm thinking about those corrections, that's going to be a bad performance.
Right. You have to forget about it.
I have to get those corrections on rehearsal and then throw it away. Not meaning I'm not going to do the corrections. I have to actually implement the corrections before performance time. When it's performance time, the performance that I know I nailed
Right.
was the ones that I was really into that
Like you go blank.
character.
You forget about everything.
Exactly. I don't see people in the wings.
You lose
I don't
yourself.
hear people in the wings. I only see, if I'm dancing with you, I only see you
Right. The
and the
connection.
music, and we are transported to that environment.
Right.
Oh, if the scenery is I don't know, shore, that
Right.
dance always brings me back to
Yeah.
that. Like I am there.
Yeah.
I'm not on stage even.
That's the acting part of it. Yeah.
I completely, I almost forget that I'm in the theater. You know what I mean? It's very weird.
It's
I
like,
feel like I'm in trance.
You know when some people say that they're reading books, and that happened many times to us, and you really go away because you believe in what you're reading.
Yes.
I think that's the job of an actor, of a dancer.
Yes.
It's to create the environment and to create that atmosphere that you kind of lose yourself in it,
Yes.
and you become.
And I only get, and I know how to get there.
Yeah.
I just have to really mentally focus before.
It's that
Like I have to just go almost meditate,
right? Yeah.
but I don't have to sit and say, no, I can do it while I'm talking to you. But in my head, I'm getting myself there. And then the times when I don't do that, or for whatever reason, if I'm feeling some sort of pain, things like that, that are worrying me, is that when I'm thinking too much, I'm overthinking, and
Yeah.
I don't get there.
No, we
I
shouldn't.
don't
We
get into
shouldn't
that
be like that.
place.
And it's the mood. I think it's a great thing you're saying that, because I feel like for me, this is the way that I set my regular day. Also, it's the way I envision, the way I prepare for everything. It's like if you don't focus on the things you're supposed to focus, you get lost.
That's right.
And the same in performance. Same thing happened to me whenever I was performing. I was like, wait, what's going on? You learn over time. What's going on? This is not going the way it was in rehearsal, this and this. And then it took a while to understand that is not about technique. It's about being it,
Yeah.
being part of what you're doing. Like own it, 100% own it. This is what Junior doing performing, my nose is it's running, sorry. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like be on it 100%. And that's the thing. Every time we perform, it's 100% who we are. And then I'm like, afterwards, I was like, wow, we're so powerful together.
Yeah.
Because we do lose so much that sometimes I even make up some new moves. And you're like, Junior, what did you do there?
But I say
I get very
after.
excited.
I don't say it
No,
during it.
you-
Because
no, no, you
during it, I
accept
just
it.
go with the flow. Yeah.
You accepting it
Yeah.
all the time. You're like, you go with it. Like
Yeah.
whenever we do like a jump or anything, you're like, whoa. Afterwards, you're like, whoa, you really tossed me there.
That's true.
I lose myself. It's
You-
like if I'm performing on the rehearsal and I'm good, oh, this is fine, I feel good about it, on the stage is gonna go double the amount of
That's one thing
force
you do.
and everything
Whenever
else.
you lift me, you lift so much higher. I'm
the-
like, wow.
It's the
that was-
adrenaline. But I
Yeah.
do that in a very safe way, and
Yeah.
with people that I can do that.
Yeah.
Some dancers are different, so you have to balance
Right.
what is the energy between you and
Yeah,
the
you
dancer.
feel it.
With you, I feel like we know each other.
Yeah.
You know I'm gonna be there, and you also match my
Energy.
energy. And then
That
at the
thing
very
is really true.
Isn't
Like
that
we
true?
match the energy. Yeah. I just remember like recently I had the injury on my knee.
right,
And then I told you beforehand, I say, Junior, go easy with me. I'm
Right.
not. Remember we
Yeah.
talked before
Right.
because I knew we could
I
go
put- yeah.
places, but then we had to do like 4 performances in 2 days.
Right.
So we could not do everything on the first one.
6
But you
performance.
totally, yeah.
We have 3 each day.
And you totally got the note and you kind of
Took it easy.
tune it down a little bit.
Yeah, first because you wasn't on stage, it was
Yeah.
a very intimate performance. So I feel like
But those things are important. Like even though we match the energy, and I would, but it's important to talk, you know, to whatever partner we're dancing with if you're not feeling 100% body wise, right? Healthy wise. So it doesn't go wrong.
yeah. All right.
All right.
So
That
let's do
was
this.
fun.
If you guys enjoyed this episode, write it down in the comments. Let us know if you are a dancer or if you're not. What's your routine like? You know, because I feel like everyone have a routine in
Has
order
a
to feel has a routine in order to feel good.
Yeah.
Because I think the goal in life is to feel good, and the most important thing in order for our minds to be good, and that's I speak for myself, it's if my body is going through a routine,
Right.
exercising.
Yeah.
Because once you're not exercising, you lose the power here. It's weird.
To have a sense of a routine, I think is important.
It's very important. for everyone.
even it's even important so you know when you're breaking it. You know, it's
True.
not like
Very true.
oh you have to do the routine. No, it's important to also break
And
the routine.
slowly, you know, adding, if you don't have, slowly adding different, trying different routines. You might gonna find that some that works for you doesn't work for me. Some that works for me doesn't work for you. So it's like it's different for everybody. Like you have your routine. You need to have your breakfast early in the morning before you do your exercise.
Yeah.
I prefer to do my exercise, the first one in the morning, and eat afterwards. So it's different for everybody. But a routine, a personal routine is a very important way to feel happier and to have a happier life.
And also I just want to add, like I remember something, like the routine doesn't, like even for us dancers, like I remember most of the time is to warm up, the regular warm up class and rehearsal. But for some choreographies, for instance, the one that we did in the exposition,
Right.
we actually I never warmed up the way I would if I would perform a ballet piece, for example. Our warm up was breathing techniques.
Right. And was great.
And that would warm up our bodies in order to do that choreography.
Very true.
Because
Loosen
it
up
was-
everything.
The choreography was more about that, the breathing.
For sure.
Even though we're, of course, dancing, but that was sufficient to put us in that, ready to that.
That's
choreography.
another thing that for dancers that it was a big breakthrough in my career is to learn how to breathe while
Oh, yeah.
performing. Because you don't learn
Even in
that.
class.
You don't learn that.
Yeah.
They don't teach you that.
No, and even in class, I just recently learned how to breathe. in
I remember
class.
performing once, and 15 years ago, even more. I was performing very hard. I think it was Nutcracker. And doing the variation, I was chewing
Holding.
to get the power I needed. Look at that. Afterwards, I couldn't even talk because it was so painful. And I was putting my energy here. I wasn't even breathing. I was breathing because I need air, but I didn't know how to
to relax.
pause.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm doing a pose, it's like, now you can breathe.
Yeah,
It's-
the
it
breathing.
was everything like
yeah, the
it
breathing is not
takes
to take
a
it
lot of
there.
time
It's to
for you
calm
to-
down. It's to rest your muscles.
Yeah.
It's to, yeah.
in everything in life.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you feel a little bit. My brother was teaching me a breathing exercise the other day. He's like, oh, you're thinking too much. And then he was like, oh, there's a good exercise about leaving the past and moving forward, which is two
Breathing.
breaths in, 2 seconds, eh? And then 3 out. And I did that for like a couple of minutes, and I was like, so good. I was high. So yeah, breathing is very important. It's a very good thing to put into your routine.
Yes.
So yeah, if you guys like this video, give us a thumbs up. Like this video, share with your friends and family. Let us know in the comments if you enjoyed, if you're new here. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe to That Brazilian Couple. And yeah, right?
And 5, 6, 7, 8.
Keep
Keep
on
on
dancing.
dancing.